Hello. Answer this question for me. Is micromanagement leadership? Let's think about that. And I'm going to give you some nuggets that's going to clarify whether micromanagement is actually leadership. The first thing I want you to know is that micromanagement is not leadership. Micromanagement kills trust. And as leaders, instructional leaders, as principals, especially our new principals, we want to hold on and we want to do everything right. And we figure that micromanagement is what's going to get it done. And we don't even realize that it's called micromanagement. So I want you to write this down. If you're doing all the thinking, your team is just waiting. So that means that all that stress, that's on you. And as far as your team is concerned, I mean, they're cool. They're cool. Cool as a game. Cool as a game. Waiting on you. The next thing is that micromanagement kills trust. Now, let me tell you about the trust piece. Micromanagement is what you use when you don't have trust. So that means that micromanagement definitely will kill the trust. So I want you to write this down. Control feels safe. That's right, because you're the one who's holding on to everything. So it feels safe to you. But your people, your team, I mean, they're just out there just floating. The next thing is the more you control, the less you own. So yes, ma'am, yes, sir, this is your school. You own this school. Every decision that's being made at this school is your responsibility. Yes, you're absolutely right. But write this down. Empowered teachers don't wait for permission. They take action. And if you do not empower your teachers, there will be no action. There will be people packing their bags, walking out the door because you have shown them that you don't trust them, which means that you are not empowering them. And the last thing I want to tell you is that micromanagement will not only burn you out, but will it also burn your teachers out? I'm going to tell you the answer is yes. So you're saying, well, how is it going to burn my teachers out? Your teachers are trying to figure out what is the right thing to do. They're trying to follow all of the rules, all of the policies that you have in place. They're looking at dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and they're frustrated because they know a lot of those things that are in place are not working. And they don't have an opportunity to express it to you. They will express it to everybody else, but they won't express it to you. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Barbara Pope, Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. I was just so blessed to be able to find somebody who understands all this micromanagement, who has walked those halls, who understands that you have to have a collaboration, you have to have a team, you have to be able to trust. And when you trust, you get the success, not only for yourself, but for your teachers and for your students. So the person that I have with me today, I am just going to give you her whole bio because she is worthy of a whole bio. Sometimes when you are getting ready to make a speech, they give us, we have what's called two bios, a bio for the stage and a bio to send for an application. Well, I'm going to give you her bio, the crisp bio, so that you can understand the breadth and the depth that she has in education. I am talking about Ellisha Newton, a global speaker and author. She specializes in leading and building teams. And you can't lead and build teams by micromanagement. Mrs. Newton crafts environments where all adult and youth leaders assist scholars in thriving through literacy in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we all know that as STEM. Consequently, Scholars demonstrate their literacy as they teach each other what they are learning. Mrs. Newton is a graduate scholar working to complete her doctorate degree. That's right. She is ABD, so I am just going to speak it out. We're going to call her Dr. Newton because I remember the day when I was sitting, and I know this is not part of her bio, but I was sitting at a funeral at a big church, and the pastor and I had some collaborations together, and he knew that I was working on my doctorate. But what he didn't know is that I was struggling. I was really struggling. And I was at the point where I wanted to say, man, forget this. And he called my name and he said, do you agree with that, Dr. Polk? I said, woo, he called me doctor. And I'm not even there. All that did was gave me the push to go on and complete it. So I am passing that on to Dr. Newton. Ellisha is continuing opportunities for leaders to impact the field of education. Mrs. Newton has earned graduate credit as and a certificate from Harvard Graduate School of Education, Professional Education, Developing Myself, which is called the CAEL module. This certificate applies towards the certification in advanced education leadership. I've walked those halls as well, my sister. Ellisha utilizes all her expertise and modules in high levels of competence, caring, and culturally responsive collaboration. In her 29 years tenure in the field of education, she has led as an educator in pre-K through 8th grade, in administration at campus, school district, and higher education levels. As a global speaker, Mrs. Newton has presented in several arenas, including Church Women's Day, mother and daughter celebrations, women's empowerment, retreat conferences, masterminds, and it just goes on. And we're limited on our time, and we just want to hurry up and hear from this great woman. What especially attracted me to Mrs. Newton is that she is an author. And as the author of You Are Powerful, Mrs. Ellisha Newton shares the book which highlights the power of youth and adult scholars. Readers understand their power when reading her book because it is a colorful and exciting book for all ages that includes a helpful glossary and a bonus surprise. Hint, it includes music. Readers are encouraged to share the book with others so they can discover why they are powerful too. In her upcoming book, How to Love Your Job Daily for Educators, 7 Secrets to Understanding Health Equals Wealth. I want to bring to you today, everybody, Ms. Dr. Ellisha Newton. Yay!
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, I tell you, people just don't know about the struggle, Dr. Newton. They just don't know about the struggle. In education, people see you, you're the principal, or you're the instructional coach. And you drive up and you got your name on the parking lot space, and they look at you and they just say, they just got it going on. They don't know the struggle.
No clue.
So I have some questions that I want to ask you, Dr. Newton. And these are questions about leadership, and then we, of course, will not spend so much time on the leadership, but we will focus on the writings that are in your book. So think about this. What inspired you to become an educator and later a leader, a school leader?
So my grandmother was an educator, my mother's mother, for 25 years in a public school system, 10 years at a kindergarten academy. And then at 67 years old, she pledged Delta Sigma Theta and continued to tutor and create cassette tapes of students who, the basics after teaching them how to read, and they all read by 3 years old. That was my
Wow.
grandmother. Then my mother taught for 44 years and 10 summers. You have to include the 10 summers part.
That's right. That's right.
And my aunt was a teacher. My husband's aunt was my seventh grade teacher. So just to say, I'm surrounded by educators, professional people, and people in my village who are just amazing. So I was either going to be a lawyer or I was going to be a teacher or a musician, so
Wow. Wow.
I've combined them all because I feel like we do more advocating for our students. We do more than I would have as an attorney. So
Absolutely. And you focused on summers. And most people don't focus on the summers when we start talking about, your experience in education. And I'm going to tell you, those summers mean so much, not only to the students, because it actually gives them that second chance.
yes,
But for us as educators, it gives us a chance to hone our skills. And it makes a big difference when we get ready to go back into that school, into that classroom, or until the next school year, because we're better. The more we
Yes.
do a good job, the better we are. So you had no choice. You had no choice.
I believe I was called to teach
Yeah.
because I heard the Lord say teach, and I've heard the Lord say sing in my 52 years. So
Absolutely.
it wasn't just my decision. I think it was called and was divinely, strategically, just time
Yeah.
to do those things the way that they've happened in God's perfect timing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see in our comments, Taria says, great day, ladies. So we want to give Taria a big shout out.
Yes, please.
Yeah, she's our technology support for sure, our
Yes,
social
we
media.
appreciate her.
So we thank you, Taria.
Thank you, Tarika. The audience doesn't understand
Doesn't
the March 1st and March
Yes.
22nd struggles to get us face to face because we've been in the space, but
Yeah.
now we're face to face.
It's all about the struggle, and you just keep on. You don't give up.
No.
I mean, it's just so amazing how everything that we do in life, there is a lesson, and that
Yes.
lesson is tied to us as educators. We don't see it as a time to just quit. We see it as a time to just keep going on, keep pushing on. All right, so you specialize in building and leading teams. What are some key strategies school leaders can use to create high-performing teams?
So I believe in buildership rather than leadership. And the way to see that visually is when we were in class, we were teachers and we had a group of students that we were walking down the hallway with. Teachers who lead are at the front of the line and the students are behind them. Those who are building have told the scholars, this is what we do when we walk down the hall, this is how we do it, this is from getting from one place to the next, and perhaps maybe at the middle of the line, walking beside the class so they can see the front of the line and the back of the line. So building, when talking about adults, is not just saying, here's the objective for the district, this is what we're going to do in our school, we're going to have this climate and culture. It's here's the vision, mission, and core values of our school and our district. based on who we have in the building, based on our thought processes. Here is what we can do, and let's collaborate in making certain that it happens. Based on your skills, what do you need? And guiding the leaders who are on the team. And I call it all of the leaders because whether they're leading the classroom or at the campus level or district level or higher ed, they're still leaders. And that's a term that everybody knows, leaders. But when we went to school to be a principal or superintendent or whatever leadership role you have, we were told to, this is your school and everybody else follows, which works for some things, but it's better to think about it as building, because if I have a deficit in something, and I know that you're a builder, you're going to encourage me to tell you, I need assistance in this, or this. It may be, I have a team of students or a team of adults who we have an objective and we're having struggles with aligning to say, let's get this task completed. Whatever the thing is, the person would feel comfortable saying that to me because they already know the expectation is that based on whatever you need, we'll have you help you with whatever that need is, just like we do with the learning cycle with teachers. So we observe, then we say what we think would be helpful as far as mastering the skill, and then model it, and then have the teacher as part of the process so that from the beginning to the middle to the end, the teacher is part of that process. Same concept with building teams. So the skills that are needed are being open, coachable, and not full of drama.
Yeah.
Like a drama-free zone. So if everybody comes and they all have whatever they were dealing with when they come to work. However, just like we tell the teachers in the classroom, we have to come to work whole. So to start that, you have to have life-work harmony and not life-work harmony. So you want life-work harmony, not work-life harmony. So whatever you put on your calendar first is what your focus is. So that's why I said life. And then put work around what you're doing, and that works in everything. So if you don't have a self-care plan and you're showing up to work and you change, oh, let's get, no, ma'am, no, sir. You can't, you can't, if you can't manage what's going on with yours to show up whole, then you can't help anyone else. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
literally those same skills we need in life, we have to use in building teams, and those relationship building skills are necessary because sometimes we'll try to get into StreamYard from March 1st all the way to March 22nd, and we'll have a practice session on Thursday and everything works. And then 5 minutes before it's time to log in, we can't do it. So we have to be flexible and know that whatever the objective is, we can achieve it. And also with those mission, vision, and core values from the beginning that we agreed upon. And when I say those things, I don't want it to sound too large. Just think about it from the perspective of when you have a group of students and you tell them, here's our community contract or our community compact. This is how we're going to interact. This is what we're not going to deal with. This is what we will do together. This is how we communicate when we're having a conflict. This is how we will respond to each other. Same concept with building teams, just being on the same page and knowing sometimes things will happen, but once we build that trust and the builder or the leader who's facilitating the objectives for the team, they will all work together. Not always agree, because you definitely want everybody's opinions considered, but know that with those skills that are needed, because some teams are not for everybody, and just know that it's not a good fit all the time.
So tell me how you have a class, you have the teacher, you have the structure, but the principal has everybody on lockdown, pretty much, and I'm going off script. they have everybody on lockdown. Um, and a lot of that comes from central administration because we know that our schools in our underperforming districts, they have so many mandates, they have so much documentation until you feel trapped and you feel as if I do something on my own, then I'm going to get in trouble. So therefore, I'm going to pass that on to my teachers because we have this state mandate, we have this federal mandate. So how do you, with all of those pressures on you, how would you tell a new principal, or returning principal, how do you manage, how do you build in circumstances like that? What would be your recommendation to them?
So, what I do is I think about the worst case scenario and then plan with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So I will have to go to my own experience to answer that question. So I was at a district, charter school district, and I was the instructional coach the first year, and the following year I was asked to be the director principal. But the year I was the instructional coach for that campus, it was a school that was in school improvement, and it was also on the last chance for everything they had tried for 3 years previously, 2 years. This is the third year to get it right, or the state was going to take it over. So everything I just shared with thinking about the objective, identifying what the issue is, and then looking with talking with your team about the whatever the issue is that you've identified. Um, it's the same process each time. So we're collaborating. Here's what I think. However, I know there are way more smart. There are people who might be smarter than me in the room, and also may know more about this particular thing. So let's discuss it, make a plan, and know that um, there are people around you who know whatever you don't know. So in my network, if that situation was with facing my team, we would just sit down and with the whiteboard and do it like we always do, and not stress, because just like when we look at any other objective for the school year that we need to achieve, you chunk it. So you already know the first 3 weeks we're doing dot dot dot. The next 3 weeks we're doing dot dot dot. Just like within the 90 days, everything we do is in 90 days. So in the next 90 days, we're gonna do dot dot dot. So same concept. Don't stress. And so one of an easy way to think about it is when in the classroom we used to say to the students, I've gotten all the curriculum and I've looked at it, I've taken out all the fluff. I'm here to teach you everything you need to know. And we're gonna have fun, and I have high expectations, and you're going to exceed them. You're not just going to reach them. And many of them would never pass the STAR test because that was the focus back, and still is. But they were in eighth grade and they had never passed the STAR test since third grade. And so when I said that, they were like, what is she talking about? We always go to summer school because we didn't pass it the first time, so we have to do it the next time. Well, because at the very beginning, we had the same concept that I shared earlier, which is here's the objective, here's what we need to achieve. These are the people we have to get it done. We're going to work with parents, we're going to work with community members, we're going to work with people in our building, custodians, PE teachers, everybody is part of it, not just the teachers. So that's one of the things that we have an initiative for writing across the curriculum, for example. And everybody in the whole school district is on that page. So let's just do it. Literally, let's do it in reading, let's do it in writing, let's do it in science and PE and golf, whatever we're doing. So it's as simple as writing a plan. So what we're doing is making sure that we have peace, we're drama free. Same core concepts we talked about before.
Yeah.
But just walk it as we're doing the steps, know that we're going to, just like the lesson cycle, go back. So as we write an objective, that first 3 weeks, if that doesn't work, we know we may have to adjust it and revisit it, just like we did when in the lesson cycle last week with the teachers.
Absolutely. I want to recognize another um, chat, and that's from Frida Washington. Top of the morning to you,
Good
Miss
morning.
Frida. Frida is the director of the Head Start program, and one of my former teacher students, and she understands exactly where you're coming from, Dr. Newton. So,
Wonderful.
top of the morning to you, Dr. Frida. So, all of that sounds good, Dr. Newton, but I am a new principal, and I'm a returning principal, and I do not have certified teachers in my classroom. I had certified teachers when I started, but by the time um, the second semester started, or even before the second semester was over, I'm looking for a teacher, and I find a permanent substitute. Good morning, also to Carla Floyd. Good morning to you. Good to see you. But I have a permanent substitute. I do not have time to do all these team building exercises. I do not have time to go over the curriculum with her. I do not have time to go over um, uh, anything. I just want her to. I need a body in that classroom, and it happens to be a fifth grade classroom, because nobody, wants to teach the fifth grade. So I have this willing soul who is going to come in to teach, and we're just winging it, and she's been looking at the TikTok clips about teachers in the classroom, and what we gonna do here and what we not gonna do here. That's all nice and funny.
Right.
When we watching it on TikTok, but it just doesn't work that way in the classroom. A lot of people, the substitutes, they're bringing in that old school way of teaching, and when the teacher would tell me to shut up, I would shut up. So what do you recommend to a new principal who, the whole team is kind of working together, fifth grade team, but this one, and she comes to school every day. Uh, she's doing the best she can, but she's talking crazy to those children, and it's just not working. But she's gonna come every day. She's gonna come every day. So what do you tell a new or returning principal? Um, do you give teachers like that the autonomy to at the what I would call a walk and chew gum at the same time, following the curriculum, but at the same time giving them autonomy in the classroom?
So you said a whole lot. And the answer is give us a call. We have a e-course. We have a master class. We have a what we call customized professional development just for you. Literally, we do. And I just put the link in the chat
Okay.
to do the discovery call, because there are a lot of nuances in that. So, as I said, with buildership, we already know that from uh, the beginning of the year to December, it's possible that People may go from one place to another. It within the district, they may change grade levels. You may have a whole new teacher, or no teacher at all, and then have the scenario you just shared. So we plan that from the beginning, which is when we do our onboarding and we have our mission, vision, and core values conversation that we were talking about earlier. This is the expectation whether you're a custodian, whether you're a bus driver, whether you're a parent, whether you're a community member, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an administrator, the expectation is the same. So someone who's a sub, it might be a steep learning curve or learning gap,
Yeah.
but they also will receive the information that we shared because we know our scholars what they need, and we know we have promised 2 years of growth within 1 year. We're dealing with the summer slide and the COVID slide now. So we don't have time to waste, literally. So we would put that person in professional development, and then we would do some customized professional development for someone who doesn't have an education background, just so that the foundation is the same. And
So
I
I
actually have
think
I have a blueprint literally to walk them through that process.
okay, okay. I think I heard you say something that's critical to us in education. I think I heard you say to have a plan. I think I heard you say that. And in education, we're taught everything is going to go, according to the book. Everything will be in order. So when there's not when there's a space for a teacher in third grade, all of our energies are just focused on putting somebody in that spot. We don't have we lots of times don't have a plan. Suppose you don't get the person that you need in that spot. And I think I heard you say, let's plan for the unpredictable. Um, Everything else is still going to be in place. The vision is still going to be in place. Your goals, your 2-year turnaround is still going to be in place. But do you have a plan that's going to help you when all of those things just fall apart?
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that as principals, principals have their plates so full, especially when you're a new principal and you have central administration breathing down your throat, and they want to give you initiatives. But how would you suggest a new principal who has these initiatives from central administration, but these initiatives are in conflict with the initiatives that you have on campus as the campus leader? How do you integrate those initiatives from central administration? How would you suggest that new principal manage that? And I know we're off script,
But hey, believe it or not, I do have a mentorship program just for educators who are in that 1 to 3 year novice administrator roles. So monthly I do master classes as well as 2 to 3 day summits. And then I also have consulting where I created a mentorship program, and it's called Now That You Have the Role as an Administrator, Now What? And in that, you know what your long and short term goals are as an administrator, but once you get into the actual role in the same district with the schools next door to each other, it may be a little different. So, just get literally a customized, let's walk through what you're working on this particular day so that you can thrive. And it's literally called Thrive. That's the name of it. So, but in that, what we do is we literally identify whatever it is. So I'm new. Now what? If that's it, then we literally walk through in a 90-day plan, 7, 15, 30, 60, 90 days. So you just know that you are not alone. everyone who has been in an administrative position has had that thought about some aspect of the new job. And we're here, with me, of course, but I have a network of consultants who are administrators at every level, and we can walk you through whatever you need to walk through, literally. So take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, 3 times. And we're here for you, literally. You thought you were off script, but you didn't know that about me, did you? Yeah, we started offering that about a year ago.
So,
But just literally, the advice is breathe and call us, because there are so many nuances that it could be something just as simple as, okay, your superintendent or your leader, assistant superintendent, whoever the immediate supervisor is, said do this, and the new administrator may hear something different. So they call me the administrator whisperer. So, so what that means is when you hear one thing, like you just gave as an example, I'm going to say it to you so you can understand that it's the same thing.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
here are the steps to make sure you reach the goal in the deadline in the amount of time needed. And know that you can call us whenever you need us, because we've all been there, literally. So breathe is the advice.
Okay, so after I have done the breathing, and there's somebody listening today, um, how do you, how do they, how would you recommend that they maintain their motivation and their resilience as a leader? So I've done my breathing.
Okay, I put a link in the chat for you, but it didn't go across when I tried to put it in the group. So put this link in there, and I'll give you an example. Hold on, I accidentally clicked on it instead of copying it.
Okay.
And then you can share this. So you know what the goal is, you know what the expectation is. And so, again, the plan keeps coming up. It's Habakkuk 2:2. Write your vision, make it plain. And so, once you know what you need to do, write it down. After you've done those 3 deep breaths,
Yeah.
and I actually use a breath prayer. So I put my hand on my heart and inhale and say, "The Lord is renewing me." No, I'm sorry. I will take heart as the inhale, and exhale as the Lord is renewing me. And I do that 3 times at my own pace. I may just leave the office or wherever I am, take a walk outdoors, and come back. Because if you're stressing, it's gonna all feel overwhelming. So literally, it's a plan for life work harmony and not work life harmony. And it's just as simple as, here's the task. This is the amount of time I have to get it done. Within the next 3 weeks, 6 weeks, all the way to 90 days, this is what needs to be done. Um, Once I make a plan, I already know it may need to change, but I'll have checkpoints. And when I say checkpoints, it could just be a 3 week, 6 week, the time frame to get it done. And then when you make a plan like that, you know, based on what I've tried, but based on what I don't know I need to do, based on what I don't know I need to know, based on whatever pops up, you'll know literally what you need to do to move to the next step and be successful. And I laughed when I said call us, but I really do want you to call us, because and even if it's not me, just someone knows what they're talking about, who can guide you through the process. And it's not no one is going to say do this, do this, do this. If they're worth their salt, they'll say, what is your goal? And they'll walk you through the process of whatever you have going on and say, here's what I suggest, and then move from there.
So that leads me into this this next question, you talk about professional development, and we all know, not at our buildings, but central administration, when they have PD, it's like, uh, can you ask us what we need, or do you just have somebody who you met and you want them to come and do PD? So then the teachers, they show up reluctantly. They hear just what it is that the PD is about, and they are beginning to check out. So if you are the principal, you're the new principal, and you are given the opportunity to have a professional development, I want you to tell us what makes a good PD on that principal's campus.
Okay, I'm going to answer that. And also, do you see the link? I wanted you to share.
I think it's probably
It says flat.io. You're amazing.
It's probably on.
I sent it to the private because when I sent it to the regular comments, it's just saying it didn't. I have to send it to you because it failed.
Yeah. No, I don't. See
Okay.
it.
All right. So I'm going to send it to you on your phone.
Oh yeah.
So-
I see him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gotcha.
So the answer to the question is, when you are planning a professional development, just like when you're talking to students in classroom or you're anything you're doing, you start with an interest inventory. So you ask whoever it is, in this instance, teachers, what in the survey you ask the questions: what do you learn? What are you doing well that you can teach someone else? What do you need assistance to become better? So that's the area where you need the professional development. And also, what type of learner are you? So if you're tactile, kinesthetic, you touch things and you learn well, or if you're visual, you can see it and read it and you've got whatever it is that you're learning, or you're someone who has to act it out. Literally, what type of learner are you? And all of that is important, because when the principal we're using as an example gathers that information, whoever the person is that comes in to do the professional development, whether it's someone within the school district or in the school, or whether it's someone from outside, that person must include all of that in the planning. Because there's no professional development where there shouldn't be something that each type of learner will not just learn, but also be able to teach someone else by the end of the session. So those are part of the first things to do. And then make sure that the person who comes in to do the professional development includes all of that, has a product or a project or a service or something that they create and are able to submit and share with the group before the end. And also share the one that says the flat.io, the last one I just sent you, also, Dr. Hope.
Okay.
So literally, you have a plan. You should never leave the professional development without having a plan that you can go and implement the same day or the next day for your target group, whether it's a group of students or a group of adults, or you might managing your own self.
Exactly. So you talk about managing adults or managing students. So when you are instructing adults, how do you instruct or teach your adults differently? Just one or two, because I know it's it's a lot, but just
I really
one.
don't. I do the adults the same way I do the students.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked you to put this link in the chat. Everybody click on the one that says flat.io at the beginning, HTTPS. It's a song. It's actually a song in this book, You're Powerful, on page 43. And there's a QR code that takes you to this song. And we're getting ready to sing it. It's called You're Amazing. So once you get on the link, And then I'll see if I can share. I'm gonna play it over here on this end so everybody can hear it. That
Okay.
way you don't have to worry about if they can get to the link or not. Is there a way to share? Oh yeah, I see it present. Let me click here.
Okay. Is it working?
Looks like it. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to this link that we just put in the chat, it actually takes you to this song called You're Amazing. And because you can't unmute, we're going to trust that you're actually singing aloud. And it actually is, you see this little sideways triangle right here? When you click it, it'll point to the notes and play it as you, just in case you don't know how to read music. So we're getting ready to start. It's You're Amazing, then rest, rest. That means you wait. Then simply amazing, rest, which means you pause or wait. You're amazing, all the same notes. Then pause or wait. Simply amazing, and then rest. 4/4. Okay? That means 4 beats in each measure. Pause it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear it. I
Okay.
can hear it.
You're amazing. So it's you're amazing. Sing that. You're amazing. I hear you sing. You're amazing. Rest. Rest. Amazing. Simply amazing. You're amazing. Simply amazing. So I had to do that because just like I would do with sleep, we start with life, work harmony, not work life harmony. What are your goals? What are you going to do? So we're writing it down. Same book, it says Vodka 2 and 2, write your vision, make it plain. And it's a journal. You write in it. It by the end of writing in the doing the learning activity and the using the 2 glossaries, you will be able to tell other people how you're amazing in action, literally. So it's talking about how to find your goal, write it down, make it plain, literally.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing with adults as well as students. And so when you're figuring out what your issue is, that's what you do. You start, you write it down, you make a plan, and then know that it may change, your plan may change. But to reach your goal by the deadline, you have those checkpoints and you have those small increments of time where you're going to work toward that goal.
Okay. So I know we've gone past our time, but it was some good time. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions just to close, and it's it's a question that I you just give me a yes or no, um, or maybe a brief statement. Um, do you think school vouchers are a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on how they're being used and who they're helping.
Okay. All right.
So
That's it. That's it.
if
That's it. That's it.
if they're being used to help those who need them, great. Yes, absolutely.
Um, do you think there's something that um, we can do as former administrators and current consultants to encourage teachers to stay in their profession? Make a couple of sentences.
Yes, absolutely. We're examples of how we did it. We thrived while we were doing it, and we're still doing it as consultants. So
Yeah.
we are not letting our skills go to waste. We're literally still offering for people to say, well, you did this and you had that experience. What happened? How did you do it? How are you still smiling at the end of the day? Why are you excited to go to work every day? Um, amongst all of the different things that are going on, because the state we're in now, it didn't just start today. There have been lots of things going on prior to this time to lead up to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have always had the answers, and we still do. So literally, that was why I said call us, because I mean, we have free and paid services. It's not just, and we're in business doing what we know you need because we know you need it. And then everybody's budget is different. Free 99 might be all you can do, and that's what we offer. So you literally have us at your disposal. And we had so many um, elders and also people in our age groups who had the knowledge, who shared it with us. So we're extending ourselves to do the same. And
So,
just because the school you're in now may not be ideal for you doesn't mean that there's not another that is.
so the traditional um, thing for school administrators or for school leaders or principals has always been you need to put in the time. Um, so, what do you tell a new principal or returning principal about balancing putting in the time with their self care, knowing that the pressure that they have on them to turn these schools around? And I'm talking about principals who have been assigned to underperforming schools. Um, how would you tell them to put in the time to get it done and also balance um, uh, their life with a position
So,
like that?
so my suggestion, what I did when we were able to turn around the school that we turned around, um, just what I said earlier, breathe, take those 3 deep breaths, inhale and exhale at your own pace. Um, Literally have a time that you start and stop each day. So if you say, I'm available from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., at 7:01, do not answer emails. If you're on call, answer that call. But don't put your email on your cell phone, literally.
Wow.
Because if you do, you wake up, go to bed at night, and you wake up in the morning responding to emails. So you're on call 24/7, not just for the calls, but for your mind never takes a break.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that 30 minutes a day, whatever you call self care. If it's manicure, pedicure, if it's walking outdoors, if it's stretching, if it's yoga, if it's sitting still, whatever you need for you. Everybody has something different that they do for self care. It might be sitting in a dark room, it may be just taking a drive, whatever you do for 30 minutes. And it may not be able to be 30 minutes all at once. At one point, I had 30 seconds this part of the day, 30 seconds that part of the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
5 minutes here, 5 minutes there to equal 30. Sometimes I could do 10 minutes and then let it equal 30 by the end of the day. It really just depends.
Okay.
And Girl Trek would tell people walk every day, at least 5 days a week for 30 minutes a day. But if you can't walk from your front door to your driveway, we don't expect you to actually do that in 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's the same concept.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna close. Tell us about the book. I think you have put in the chat how they can purchase your book or your services. I believe.
So I put in discovery calls. I'll put the website again now.
Okay.
So for the discovery call, whatever you need, we do customized services, and you can reach us there. She put that in the, I think you already shared that part with the discovery call.
Oh my goodness, what happened? Oh, is our time up?
Wrong thing. Trying to get the chat, I clicked to get out.
Okay, okay. Well, I,
Here,
I think I think I have
it's the where it says the Blue Spirit website. I'll put it back in again if you need me to.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'll put that back because I have the flat IO.
Yeah,
There
it
we
was at
go.
the very
There we go.
beginning.
There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So when you
So when
go
you
to
go
the
to the
website,
website,
you'll go
you'll
to
go to
shop,
shop,
and that's the
and that's
link
the
I'm
link I'm
sharing now,
sharing
so you
now,
don't
so you
have
don't have
to
to
navigate
navigate
there.
there. Okay.
But when you
But when
go
you
to
go to
shop, you'll
shop, you'll
see all
see
the
all the
books,
books,
t-shirts,
t-shirts,
pre-orders
pre-orders
as
as
well.
well.
And
And
then
then
for the
for the
customized
customized
professional
professional
development, as
development,
I
as
was
I was
saying, you
saying, you
can
can
do the
do the
Discover
discover
Call
call
link
link
already in the
already in the
chat.
chat.
And
And
if
if
you
you
want
want
to
to
invite me to
invite me to
speak,
speak,
it's
it's
always
always
also on a
also on a
tab that
tab that
says
says
invite
invite
Ellisha Newton to
Newton to
speak.
speak,
And then
and
I'll
then
put
I'll
it
put
in the
it in
chat
the
as
chat as
well.
well. Yeah.
And
And
so
so
before,
before
you
you
also
also
see
see
another link
another link
that I
that I
shared
shared
that
that
says
says
whiteboard
whiteboard
for
for
door
door
prizes
prizes.
because
Yeah, I think I did see that. Uh-huh.
that's for
That's for
you. That's
you.
for
That's for
everybody in
everybody in
here
here
who's here
who's here
today.
today.
So what
So
you
what
do
you
is
do
you
is you
are in
are
the
in the
drawing
drawing
for a
for a
link,
link,
what is
what is
called a
called a
whiteboard.
whiteboard.
You know
You
how
know
we
how
had
we
the
had the
whiteboards
whiteboard
back
mm-hmm,
in the day?
mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like this. There were
There were
several
several
sheets.
sheets.
On this
On this
side, it's
side, it's
like
like
this,
this,
where
where
there's
there's
the
the
dots
dots
with a
with
like a
like a
grid,
grid,
and then on
and
the
then on
other
the other
side is
side is
white.
white.
So you
So
just
you
use
just
dry
use
erase
dry erase
boards,
boards,
if you want to use it, if you do
if you do
presentations. It's
presentations. It's
more
more
portable
portable
than
than
like a
like a
big
big
board.
board.
So
So
people who are
people who
in
are in
here, you
here, you
click on the
click on the
link
link,
and
and
you are
you
in
are
the
in the
drawing.
drawing.
So they
So
send
they
you a
send
free
you a free
set.
set.
So
So
that's for
that's for
you.
you.
And then the
And then
other
the other
link
link
is
is
books,
books,
products,
products,
purchase
purchase
orders.
orders.
Under all
Under all
products, you'll
products,
see
you'll see
everything that's
everything that
you can
you can
purchase.
purchase.
And then
And
if
then
you
if you
want to
want to
invite me to
invite me to
speak,
speak,
it's
it's
under the
under the
same
same
website, but
website,
here
but
it
here
is
it is
again.
again.
So you can
So you
just
can
go
just go
straight to
straight
it.
to it.
So
So
what we
what we
didn't talk
didn't talk
about is
about is
my book
my
is
book is
in the
in the
metaverse
metaverse
in the
Okay.
Black
Black
Children's Book
Children's Book
Museum.
Museum.
So
So
literally,
literally,
when you
when you
go
go
to
to
the Black
the Black
Children's Book
Children's Book
Museum,
Museum,
created by
created by
Veronica
Veronica
Chapman,
Chapman,
it
it
is
is
the
the
book
book
cover,
cover,
and you
and you
click on the
click on the
top
top
right hand
right hand
corner.
corner.
It's
It's
large
large
like a
like a
piece of
piece of
art
art
because it's
because
an
it's an
actual
actual
museum,
museum.
and
And
it
it
takes you to
takes
the
you to
link
the
to
link to
purchase the
purchase the
book.
book.
And
And
because
because
people can
people
only
can
be
only
in the
be in the
metaverse
metaverse
so
so
many
many
people at a
people at a
time,
time,
it's
it's
until
until
next year
next
it's
year it's
available.
available.
So it
So it
started
started
during
during
Black
Black
Children's
Children's
Book
Book
Week, which
Week,
was
which was
February
February
23rd
23rd
through
through
March
March
1st
1st
this
this
year,
year,
but it's
but it's
available till
available till
March
March
1st next
1st
year.
next year. Okay,
So
so how
that's
can
how you.
people get to the
It,
metaverse?
it, okay,
Okay,
so it
so
was
it was
in one
in
of
one of
those
those
links. I'll
links.
share
I'll
it
share it
again
again
because
because
this
this
I
I
jumped out
jumped out
earlier.
earlier.
And while
While
I
I
am
am
pulling up
pulling
that
up that
link
link
again,
again,
I
I
want to
want to
say I
say
am
I am
Ellisha
Ellisha
Tene,
Tene,
daughter
daughter
of
of
Annie
Annie
Beatrice,
Beatrice,
daughter of
daughter of
Beatrice,
Beatrice,
daughter of
daughter of
Ida
Ida
Beatrice,
Beatrice,
daughter of
daughter of
Eliza
Eliza
Matchett
Matchett
Stafford,
Stafford,
daughter of
daughter of
Emma
Emma
Sylvia,
Sylvia,
daughter
daughter
of
of
Eliza
Eliza
Roundtree
Roundtree
Butler.
Butler.
And I
And I
always
always
say
say
those
those
names
names
because
because
that's my
that's my
maternal
maternal
line
line
of
of
my
my
family.
family.
my mother's side, and I invite their love into the room because I'm in rooms that they weren't invited because of the ages, because of the time that they were born.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to acknowledge my father's, my paternal line, and I say, I am Elisha Tanae Newton, daughter of God, sister of Jesus, daughter of Ellis and Amy Beatrice, daughter of Ellis and Amy. I'm going to step back, go back one. I am the daughter of Ellis and Beatrice, daughter of Beatrice, Elijah, and Billy, daughter of Ellis and Lee, daughter of Mary Morrison, Mary Jefferson. And I'll pause right there because Jefferson has two families, and I'm learning which wife I'm attached to. I'll let you know by the end of this coming week. Daughter of Enoch and Ida Beatrice, daughter of Henry and Eliza, daughter of Wesley and Emma Sylvia, daughter of Joseph and Eliza, sister of Derek, sister in love of Shannon, wife of Sean, mother of Arya, Sean, and Ethan. And I say that because as you see on my book, there are ancestors that are encouraging me as a little girl. And on the coloring book, you'll see the same image that I'm about to show you now, which is my brother and I being encouraged by the ancestors. And it's important. I am because they are. So that's why I wanted to make sure to share that before we go.
Yeah,
And
I
the
love
link
that. I
again
love that.
for
Inviting those
the
spirits right here amongst us.
yeah, their love is in us, but I like to invite them in too.
Uh, Hallelujah.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
because my ancestors were some were free, but some were enslaved. So I like to invite them so that when I have peace, they feel that even though they had stress while they were here, they feel that peace. So that's
Absolutely.
one of my goals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I simply love that. Because we everybody that's in education right now, they may not have had family shoulders to stand on, but there were other people who came into their lives who were role models for them, mentors for them. You know, like you were and you are, and you may be the first one whose shoulders that they stand on. However, they bring all of their life experiences with them, and when they get to mentor or to meet a person like you, they take all of that and pretty much kind of put it into a framework and kind of distill what I'm thinking, distill those things um, that they want to keep, and to dismiss those things that they feel, you know, may have been a burden. And then standing on your shoulders, they bring that distilled part of them in order to share with children and adults. So
Yeah, I
that's
shared it. I shared. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
was just
ahead.
saying I shared the link in the chat so you can share it too.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's I'm glad you said that. That's exciting to hear that the way we are sharing is how the way it's received. Because sometimes if you don't necessarily know the person, you may not take it that way.
Right,
What does
right,
she mean?
right.
She wants me to call her. I don't know her.
Yeah, exactly, 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 exactly. That's true. That is so true.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we're here to offer whatever you need.
okay.
And we know it's not a good fit. We don't work with everybody either. Literally,
Yeah,
we
that's
what
right.
I said earlier, no drama, coachable, those are non-negotiables when working with us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, and that's some time that, you know, as leaders and as principals, we have to filter that as well, in a way that's legal, in a way that they work within our team, because, you know, I never had to make a recommendation for termination. I never had to. And the reason I never had to make a recommendation for termination is because of, like you say, the team. The team creates that spirit in the building, and the team creates the excellence. And when that excellence is not observed within that team, then that part of the team that is not functioning at that higher level understands that, and they step themselves out, and they come asking permission to seek time off to go someplace else, and we still maintain a relationship.
Absolutely.
And I think
And
that's
give a great recommendation when they go look for somewhere else to go. Because the price of one of my former principal, she was a interim principal. She said the price of bread costs the same when I go to the store as it does for everybody else.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And
Yeah,
that
we had that same experience. We did lots of, the growth plan with whoever we needed to, and consistently offer whatever was needed, but sometimes they just feel like it's not the right place. But that's
exactly,
okay, because
exactly.
what's best for students is what we're doing daily.
Right.
So that's
That's
exactly the
right.
right decision.
That's right. That's right. So it's like I said, it's a trust, and trust is a spiritual thing, and we know that, like you recognizing and inviting, your ancestors, which are spirits, into the environment, then it's like culture in buildings. Culture is spiritual, as I see it as well. It's just how you feel, what you say, the way you do, um, and I see that as as all a part of that spiritual process. And then we get down to looking at your vision, your mission, your core values, and because you have that spiritual piece, then things are easier to fall in place.
Yeah,
um,
I like that. That's good.
yeah, yeah, that's how I see it. That's that is how um, we were able to find success. And when you get people around you who are spiritual, then everything else is a breeze, and you just like they say, you don't only talk the talk, but you walk the walk as well. And I know
Yeah.
you have been doing that.
And
I'm so proud of you. um, you are an inspiration to us in the education field. I'm so glad we were able to connect, because it appears as though somebody didn't want this word to go out.
that's okay.
Okay.
We know how to stomp on the devil's head and keep it moving.
That's right. We got it done. We got it done.
Yeah,
And
we have opportunities to we have a partnership with the Shape Center in Houston. I don't know if you're in
oh
Houston.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so
As a matter of fact,
they've been a business 55 years, so we're working with them, and we have
The
opportunity.
Lord grew up around the corner from me.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So in the state of Texas, the the science curriculum is 3D now. So
Mm-hmm.
even though it was a literacy event that I had there in January, I also doing ongoing interactions with the students. So and parents, so that they understand what that means. So 3D, do you know about 3D curriculum?
I know what 3D is. I haven't seen the curriculum.
So science, well, there's a STEM curriculum that should be going on in every district in the state of Texas now, which that's not happening either, but they can call us for that too.
Yeah, yeah.
But so fun and literacy through STEAM is our topic. So literally, we already talked about the self-care, having fun. What are you doing every day?
Mm-hmm.
Your self-care plan. And also, like I said, with the shape, even though I was doing a literacy event, I included the science this lesson so they could see what that means. So back when we were in school, me in particular, I can speak for myself.
Yeah,
middle
yeah.
school, middle school in particular, our teacher would say, read page 53, answer these questions, and be ready to talk about it when you come to class. There's going to be a quiz and a test at some point. Every now and then, you may have a teacher that would do a experiment. So I got spoiled because in sixth grade I had a teacher who did all of that. She was amazing. She did experiments. She had us doing. She had to turn off the lights. She had the. Everybody was excited about science.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I went to middle school. We had seventh and eighth grade was seventh and eighth grade was what is it? Junior high.
Yeah.
And so basically middle school concept. But anyway, it was broken up like that. So when I say middle school, I'm really talking about junior high. So at that point, we had one teacher who would say, take out your book, read this page, and then he'd open his newspaper and read the whole rest of the country. So it was literally just read it, take the test, and that's it. And, so that's not what science is anymore. So we say 3D, the student is actually looking at the objective, doing an experiment or some kind of investigation with individually and with the group, talking about what they've learned, creating a phenomena, which is a hands-on representation to let you know what they're learning. They could tell you in a performance assessment, multiple choice, open-ended, about what they learned, and then they connect those abstract thinking objectives to the ones that we just described.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3D. So literally holistic.
Yeah.
And this coming year, 25, 26, the state test is going to have the field test questions for that type of thinking in science. And the following year, 26, what did I say, 26, 27,
Mm-hmm.
the test will test the students as if they understand science like that.
Wow.
Can you see me blinking my eyes?
Yes,
So that means when I talk to different people, I'm telling everybody, whether you have your own personal students in pre-K 12, or whether you just have a niece or friend or godchild or know somebody who has a student that age, you are a stakeholder and we need you.
Yeah.
So now that you know that, just ask them, what did you learn today? Or how was school first? Don't take, it was good. If they say it was good, you say, well, what was good about it? And then pause and listen. And then from that point, just ask another question based on what they say, because the discourse, the conversation about whatever they're telling you is just as important as what they're learning in the class.
Yeah.
Because they'll make those connections in science, English language arts, reading, writing, listening, presenting, embedding research if they're in ELA, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, football, track, cheer, basket weaving, whatever they're doing, because we want them to thrive. We don't want them to. The current disparity is 60% of scholars are reading 2 to 3 grade levels below level, district wide across the United States, not in the district, across the district in the United States, not just campus wide.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Texas, 24-25 school year is the first year the scholars scored lower in math than they did in reading.
Yeah.
Historically, they've been scoring lower in reading than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you those reluctant readers
Yeah.
need us. So just literally, even if you're not an educator, ask them, what did you learn? First, how was your day? Listen to what they say. What did you learn? And if they say nothing, so what did you read about? What do you like? And then engage them like that. It's important.
Yeah. 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 Well, we could go on and on talking about this. This is so good. And so that's what I meant when I talked about, this phenomenal person that I call Dr. Newton. Dr. Newton, just stay there. I'm going to close and then I'll be right back with you. So, today we had this great experience with Ellisha Newton, and you have all of the information there. So, what did we learn? We learned that as leaders, we have to be flexible. As principals, we have to make sure that the instruction that's going on in the classroom is actually going on in the classroom, and it's delivered in a way that our students learn. And we've also just recently learned that we have to prepare them for the next level, and that is not only understanding the objective, but to be able to create the objective and have something tangible that you can show for it. So we have had a great day today, and don't forget, we next Saturday we will have our micromanaging masterclass for all of our new principals and assistant principals, as we prepare to close the school year, when we start getting ready to do our hiring, and understanding that we cannot expect to have the kind of success that we want and that we need when we are micromanaging. So we'll see you next time. Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. We'll see you next time. All right, I think we ended this. Let me see.
Yes, says live still.
Okay, let me end the stream. Well, before we end the stream, I'm just going to say thank you and I appreciate you. And because I don't want to cut it off, and then we won't have a closing communication. But thanks to you, thanks to your family, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
And
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Go ahead. Tell me what else?
Oh, so I'm Ellisha with an E. My daddy's name is Ellis. My mom added an H and A. It's literally Ellisha Newton, like Sir Isaac Newton, laws of relativity, or a fruit-filled syrupy sweet snack called a fig Newton. And Mr. Newton and I have been married 29 years, so I've had the honor of using the Newton name that long. And when you think of me, think of Ellisha with the E and lady, my acronym. My superpower is love. So I have actually a heart with all the names of the people in my village. I am because they are. And so LADY. So A, I appreciate you. I see you. What you have to say is important. And D, what are your dreams? Allow us to help you reach your goals, whether it's an administrator, a new role, or whatever in principal shift that you're doing. You have our link at renewedspiritpublishing.org. And why? Like as I said, I see you, I believe in you, and what you have to say is important.
All right, we got it. Take care.